You are on.
Let's do it. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kathy Benharris of KB Fashion Productions. KB Fashion Productions is a fashion show production company, and we use fashion styling to tell our clients' story. I'm also the current regional director of Fashion Group International. Fashion Group International was formed in 1930. It is the premier international fashion organization for fashion industry professionals. We're all about networking, collaboration, and helping everybody get through difficult times like the one we're in right now. We're super excited to be with you tonight. Also hosting with me is Natalie Mason, who will be stepping into the regional director role when my term ends later this year. Super excited to have Natalie with us. And we're going to start to talk with some of our guests this evening.
Hi, everyone. Natalie Eubanks Mason. I'm also a fashion stylist. I own Luxe Shop for You. I'm an editorial stylist, wardrobe stylist, award-winning wardrobe stylist. And I've recently done a huge press release for an amazing music producer, songwriter, composer. So when I'm not styling, my brain gets picked for other tasks. So happy to be here. And I'm super duper excited to present our FGI Rising Star Award recipient of last year, Alex Bossi. Take it away, Alex.
What's up, everybody? I'm actually in a hotel room in New York City right now, currently doing press appointments. So sorry I'm not in Boston. I'd usually be in my studio in East Boston, but here I am in a hotel room drinking some Prosecco. So hopefully everyone has a drink. And, you know, I'm a designer from East Boston. We sell my clothing globally around the world. Super rad. A lot of famous musicians, actors, actresses have all been wearing the clothing recently, so that's super rad. If you're in Boston area, you can buy my stuff as a Riccati. Otherwise, what we're about to present is my campaign for Fall Winter 20, which we launched exclusively with Javi Nichols in London. This video was playing throughout the billboards on Sloane Street, Knightsbridge, throughout the store. It's really cool. We did some cool styling. We actually shot the entire video in East Boston. Yeah, so I guess that's just pretty much it. DJP, let's show them our next little project.
Love it. Yay.
Now go buy my clothing.
I'm kind of obsessed with that jacket that I just saw with the black leather with a little bit of leopard, obviously.
Yeah, it's funny enough, I actually have in our closet, this is my fiance's version of it right there. Really cool with the sunflowers, some cool stuff. Kathy, that was almost like we planned it. That was amazing. Cool.
So tell us about what's next.
So what's next? So we're currently selling the Spring Summer 21 collection. We launched a very, very small women's capsule, which is really cool. It's a lot of digitally printed mesh, kind of like vintage Jean-Paul Gaultier garments. And we're just opening distribution, selling stuff at a lot of really cool stores and making a lot of people feel really confident whenever they wear a really cool Bossi piece. That's kind of our biggest thing.
Well, confidence is a superpower. And I think ultimately, you know, as a stylist, when working with anybody, I think that when you put somebody in something that makes them feel confident, you've given them that superpower. You know, they stand up taller, straighter, and they feel more ready for whatever crazy world is going to throw at us next.
Yeah. And especially if there's like rhinestones on it, everyone's going to smile. So it's even fucking cooler.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Cool.
Natalie, as a stylist, what pieces would you most love to play with from Alex's collection? Anything stepping out to you?
I'm huge on everything has to be big or go home. So any rhinestone pieces, I'm huge on rhinestone. I'm huge on his leather pieces that will go great with the people that I work with. Alex is really, he has the fortitude to think way ahead. And that's what I love about the whole collection. Anyone can wear it. And I like that it transcends to anyone. Good job, Alex.
Alex,
Amazing.
are you signing off? Do you have some more time? Is there anything else you wanted to share with us before you skedaddle? I know you have.
I guess. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, we're really cool. The Spring Summer 21 lookbook comes out. We shot a very famous female model in it, which is really cool. We're really we're growing, and we like represented Boston. Like, I was a kid.
Right.
I was a fashion student, and what can I say? Like, I'm here now. So hopefully it gives faith to all the young designers out there, and that's pretty much it. And
how do we find you? Is it bossisportswear.com?
BossiSportswear.com, at Bossi SW on Instagram. You can follow my fiance, Taryn Bossi. She posts really cool stuff. I kind of just post nothing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being with us tonight, Alex.
Cheers, guys. I'm sorry I have to leave early. I have some more appointments tonight. But guys, I love you. I love Boston. Love FGI. Awesome. Peace.
Good to see you. Congrats, Alex.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go get him, Alex. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Great. Well, from sportswear with a edgy, blinged out vibe, we're now going to go into something that really feels comfortable and amazing. And of course, I'm talking about the I Love My Nightie line. Maureen's the designer. Welcome, Maureen. Good to have you here tonight. Pete.
Hello. Yeah. Hi.
Hey, we're ready to take a look at your video.
Yeah.
The Nightie Life video. Is that what we're
Yeah.
about to watch? All right, cool. Let's take a look at that. Pete, whenever you're ready. Maureen, Love that. You know, before we start to talk about the genesis of your brand and what led you to start it and the backstory on it, I need to just point out to everyone that's listening, you need to touch the fabric.
Yeah.
I love my nightie line. It feels like heaven. And I love that so much about your pieces. Maureen, tell us about your brand and where it started and where you're going.
Yes. So thank you so much. I'm so excited to be a part of this tonight and to be a part of FGI and to have this support in Boston because unlike Bossi and Alex, you know, I don't have a background in fashion and design. I started with just being cold and spending a lot of time at home and not really liking what I was wearing to be comfortable at home and, you know, just imagining something different. And you see that turquoise, you know, nightgown that I'm also wearing here, but was featured nicely in the video as well. You know, that was what I wanted, was something soft, something that felt like that comfortable t-shirt that you're, you know, putting on when you get home, but was more feminine, flattering, and just, you know, kind of a reimagining of the classic nightgown, which I love. So, you know, I had so many, you know, like kind of vintage nightgowns, and they were all very summery. And then, you know, come winter, it's like granny gowns, you know. So, you know, it's just like, oh, why can't there be something sort of in between the sort of slinky and the frumpy? So, yeah, I just started to kind of imagine that this sort of t-shirt gown that was long and very flattering and feminine and stylish. And then I also have a background just sort of as more of an interest, but in environmental awareness, and had a lot of did a lot of activism with that. And so I was very aware that the apparel industry is the second most polluting industry on the planet, behind the energy industry. So there was a lot of room for change there. And so I started to research fabrics, you know, that would be eco-friendly, but also they had to be luxuriously soft and also ideally made in the USA too. So I started with what would seem pretty obvious as organic cotton, you know, that is incredibly soft. It can be grown here and, you know, made here as well. So it had that sort of lower carbon footprint that I was looking for. But along the way, I discovered tencel. And tencel is another natural botanic fiber, and it comes from trees. But the difference is it's, you know, they have this sort of statistic that it's 2 times softer than cotton. So if you imagine cotton, you know, you're sort of very, you know, worn in t-shirt, cotton t-shirt, and how soft and comfortable that is. But if you notice, it might take time for it to get that soft and comfortable. But with tencel, you get that feeling of comfort and that soft, it's like silky, you know, it's just, it's unbelievable.
It's a very silky hand, and it's so flattering the way it hangs on the body.
Exactly. Yeah. So it has this beautiful
got going on. I'm all in. I'm a fan.
Yeah. Yes. So it has this beautiful drape that's more, you know, feminine, for women's clothing, women's apparel. So once I found that, you know, I was so excited about that. And it just, you know, it has that quality of being soft, right as soon as you touch it. And it also doesn't shrink, which is something, you know, people are concerned about with cotton. And I think it's like moisture wicking, they say, you know, kind of like reduces the, if you know, you sort of sweat, it might not be as like kind of wet and clingy, and also less static, which, you know, in the winter here, we get a lot of that. So, yeah, so I just kind of went with it, and through another member of FGI, I got some help from Danielle, who now runs Thread Tech. And she, you know, I met her and she helped me to find a manufacturer. So everything's being made in New York right now. I'd love to come back to Boston at some point, and I'll get here. But I was set up sort of before Thread Tech was open. And it's been, you know, it's been great. I launched last year with a very small sort of just starter run, you know, a soft launch that I kind of launched to, you know, people that I knew and just really needed to get feedback on the styles and the fabric. And just really get up to speed as a designer, because the whole process was new for me. So I've had a lot to learn. And, after that first production run, it went really well. I got some great feedback. And then really it wasn't until almost Christmas of last year, you sort of hope you get everything in time and you're going to be like selling the stuff for Christmas. But by the time I actually got everything, kind of new stuff in, it was really practically Christmas, so I kind of missed that. But I, continue to focus on in-person sales. So I really love, like Kathy said, like, it's all about like touching it and feeling it and trying it on. It really is kind of something new enough that people aren't really aware that they want it, and it's sort of like when you see it, because you hear nightgowns. So I call it taking back the nightie. So, I think nightgowns have kind of, an old fashioned sound to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in today's world where so many of us are working from home,
yes,
and just like we are right now, being from the the chest up on screen, I think that your pieces are the perfect solution to being comfy at home and then still wanting to look very professional for this type of virtual meeting.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you thinking about taking business now with everything around work from home?
So I've been doing my best to take advantage of it. So, just to kind of finish what I was saying, that I was like kind of really focusing on in person and doing pop-ups and house parties. I really loved that. And, markets and things like that. So when COVID, happened in March, and everything was shut down, like, there were all these kind of like, meetups and, events that I was going to be a part of that all went away. Also, my, summer production was closed down. So I didn't get my new style, which was this, beautiful robe. And, it comes in a few different patterns. You saw the shark pattern in the video. And, in this cute, like tank top style. And, that was going to be like what I was going to be doing all summer. But instead I got it, the last week of August, when nobody wants this stuff anymore. So it's been very confusing, so I had all winter stuff all summer. And, it's been, a little bit challenging. So I got one thing new, which I just got released last week, which is a pair of leggings, which I know it's not as if nobody has leggings, but these, I can tell you, you do not have these leggings. I promise you, they are unbelievably soft and comfortable. I've got them in a French terry. I've got them in a jersey material. They have a high, soft waistband. You would think I'd have them sitting here. That's the one thing I didn't bring, but a nice, high, soft waistband. That it doesn't dig in. You don't have that like skin dent, I call it, from wearing those elastic bands all day long. When you think you were in your comfortable clothes all day, you still have these things digging in.
I hate that.
Mm-hmm. So that's just one of the main design inspirations for everything is that it's luxuriously soft and comfortable, from top to bottom, inside, outside, like kind of every part of it is. And it's really designed for wearing at home. These fabrics are, they're kind of thin, they're kind of delicate. And it's just really all about, what started as a brand, of clothing has really morphed into, a way to prioritize self-care. And, self-care is healthcare. So when you're taking care of yourself, and prioritizing things like sleep, so sleep is really important. And so I really, try to promote the clothes as the thing that you put on at the end of the day, when you get out of your amazing clothes that Natalie and Kathy have styled you in, and your Bossy, amazing streetwear and everything. But really we need to be switching out of that kind of go, go, go mode. And we're all strong, powerful women, but we're also vulnerable when it comes to our health, and, things can go wrong that we don't intend and we're not even aware of. So we really need to, think about things like sleep. And also this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But, I think the clothing, when you switch into this clothing, you really, it switches your brain into, now it's time to slow down and really focus on, you know, how I'm feeling and taking care of myself. And for this month, we're supporting the Ellie Fund, which is a nonprofit in Boston that is provides essential services for women undergoing breast cancer treatment. So everything that you shop for at ilovemynighty.com, I'll be donating 10% to the Ellie Fund. And I'm also, you know, going to be adapting. So one of my goals for next year is to be adapting this clothing for women in treatment. You know, I've been talking to women who are in treatment. So for example, a robe like this could have like a pocket on the inside and like a little loop, because women undergoing treatment have tubes and a drain and a port and everything. So they need something to hold those things. But also, of course, more than anybody, they need comfort and, you know, clothing that feels good against them. So I'm really excited to be really thinking about my own breast health, you know, to be able to learn about it, to pass that on, to learn about what women going through breast cancer treatment are going through, and be able to do what I can to help.
That's wonderful. That's
Awesome.
wonderful.
Thank you.
So how do we find you? How do we shop you again? Let's hear that
Yeah.
one more time.
So ilovemynighty.com. It's pretty easy. You know, it is the nighty life. So once you get that nightgown, once you get it in your head, once you feel it, you know, you'll want this life. So
Sure, fabric, and you will want to have one of these pieces. And I'm telling you now that, you know, I love that where you brought us about, you know, taking off what you wore during the day and then what you put on at night,
yes.
that's your time to kind of think to yourself, it's time to take care of me. I'm actually going to try that tonight.
Yay,
So,
good.
I will try that tonight. Thank you, Maureen.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for letting me tell you about it.
Okay. What's
Amazing.
next, Natalie?
What's next? We have the lovely Karen Fabry. Karen is just one of the most knowledgeable women that I've known when it comes to consulting. And she's such a breath of fresh air when speaking about business, because for me, in the business, I think more of the creative side. I just want to go, I want to create, I want to blah, blah, blah. But there comes a time when you want to get bigger and you want to know the how-tos. And that's where Karen Fabry comes in, Karen. Let's.
Thanks, Natalie. I hope I live up to that. Everyone, I'm going to preempt this video you're about to see and let you know that I am not a professional videographer or editor, but I am a professional small business consultant. Take it away, Pete.
Yes.
Boston fashion people, and welcome to FGI's Boston Fashion Week presentation. I'm Karen Fabry. I serve as the treasurer on FGI Boston's board, and I'm really happy that you could all join us tonight to learn a little bit about what we are doing in our own lives and for FGI, and to get a finger on the pulse of fashion in Boston. I am a small business consultant. I have my credentials in the fashion industry and also as a small business advisor now came from the 15 years that I owned and operated my own boutique, Moxie. For those of you who love shoes and bags and accessories, hopefully you joined us and you saw our beautiful store. It was a great run. They were vibrant, happy, joyful 15 years. We won Best of Boston a number of times, Boston's Best a number of times. We participated in fashion shows. I was lucky enough to MC some fashion shows, to sit on some business panels talking about entrepreneurship. I closed my store about 3 years ago because I was getting hit by the internet, to be honest with you. Amazon was kind of taking over and it didn't seem like that would slow down anytime soon. And it was a very, very hard decision, but for my own work-life balance and as a mother of 2 teenagers, it definitely made sense at the time. During my time off, in addition to being with my kids and my golden doodles and enjoying the city of Boston where I live, I did a little soul searching and thought about what is it that I love? And, you know, obviously the buying and the merchandising was amazing in retail. And I was surprised to realize that serving as the president of the Business Association in Beacon Hill for a number of years really taught me that I love being an advocate for small businesses, hearing their stories, learning their goals, their visions, really listening to what their pain and pressure points are and trying to come up with ways to help them. I realized maybe there's something I can do now to help other businesses that are struggling. I had a communications agency background before opening my stores, and then I had the stores where I wore all the hats, and now I get to work with other small businesses to help them find their way. As I said before, my specialty is communications. I do PR, I do marketing, I can help with emails, I do content creation and manage social media. I can be on site to help with merchandising, customer service, helping to train and talk to employees about the brand that you want to set forth and how to do that successfully. But mostly, I'm here as a sounding board. Like I said before, it can be pretty lonely being an independent small business owner. And I think that was the hardest part for me. So I really want to be a strategic partner for someone I'm working with as we enter this very different and strange fashion week in Boston. I want to say thank you so much for being here and for letting me be part of this community. And if I can help you, give me a call, send me an email, send me a text. Happy Fashion Week, everybody. Stay safe, wear your masks, and do some amazing things. I can't wait to see what they are.
Bravo. I loved it.
Yes, clearly my current chapter does not include being a videographer, but say la vie, do what you can do with what you have.
It's about learning something new. We're all doing it, babe.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, after owning retail stores that I loved and fashion people, I love fashion. I'm actually so happy right now to have lipstick on that you can see.
I know.
Right? Like, I have a dress on, I have underpinnings on, like it's so exciting. So to say goodbye to something that I loved in that way, it was really hard. And running your own business, it's not only like having a child, it is part of you. That is your identity. You eat, sleep, breathe, bleed your business, and it's 24/7, and you always have to be on. The phone always has to be on. If the alarm goes off in the middle of the night, you're running down there in your I love my nightie, and you're checking to see if someone broke in. So I get it. Like I know what it's like to be a small business owner. I was so honored to be one for all of those years. And I was really surprised that I love representing other small businesses. I love the stories, and I love the camaraderie that you get from working with other entrepreneurs. And I think, I think that the loneliness that can come from being an independent business owner can sometimes be paralyzing. And so as a consultant, probably the best thing I do is I am a strategic partner that my only goal is to help that business do better, and to help the owner cut through the noise and cut through all the day-to-day tasks to figure out what's important to you. Why are you doing this? What is your messaging? What can you cut out of the picture to stay true to yourself and your brand? So that's what I try to do. And obviously my strengths are communications and marketing. And but in addition to that, I think it's listening and realizing at this point, it's not about me at all. It's about how do I help you? And that's a very different skill set that when you are it in your business, you need someone to take the bird's eye view and to give you that support and to help you find your way.
And that you do an excellent job of. Excellent job.
I did want to address working with these small businesses. One commonality I find among small business owners is this sense of like sacrificing the good in search of perfection. And, that's a common, that perfection is the enemy of the good. It's a common term from Voltaire. And I feel like people want to do everything perfectly. They want their social media video to like have perfect hair and makeup and all the right words. And, right? You want your advertisements
Yeah.
to look like you had $1 million budget. You know, you always want to get everything right. And sometimes that stops you from putting yourself out there. And I think as a small business owner, your greatest commodity, your greatest strength is you. And I don't care what you're selling. I mean, hopefully you believe in what you're selling, but ultimately you're selling you. Because for someone to invest and give you an opportunity and a chance, the best thing they could know is if you are a good person and you have a passion and they want to support you and believe in you and they want to see you on your Instagram and your Facebook. They want to see you and your voice and hear you say things and write things and share it. And if there is a silver lining for, I think, small business owners during this time, it's no one's expecting perfection, right? Like everything is an experiment. Life is an experiment. So this is the time where you can step out, get rid of all that perfectionism and just put yourself out there. Because I find the times my clients do that, that's when we get the greatest engagement, the biggest feedback, the most sales. I mean, that's your greatest strength. And I'll tell you what, it costs you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my free advice tonight.
Cheers to that, sister. Well done. We thank you for your advice, all of us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Karen's an amazing resource. So Karen, what I'm hearing then is just be your authentic self. Don't you feel like COVID is kind of taken away the filters that all of us kind of put on our work and our own self-presentation? And I'm so personally interested in genuine, authentic realness. And I crave that now more than I think I ever have. You said that's your guidance is to just go with that, trust that and be true to that.
Go with it, because as an entrepreneur, you wouldn't be putting your whole life on the line if you didn't believe in what you were doing, right? And so don't pretend that's not true. Like Maureen, I loved your I Love My 90 ad because you and your personality is all over it. You know, and I know you have a limited budget and you're starting out, and I thought it was so well done and fun and bright and happy. And knowing you, I know for a fact that is you.
Yeah.
Super authentic.
And that's called making the best of it. Yeah, when you've got no models and
right.
The last thing I did be in my own video, but like, hey.
Yeah, and for those of you, I know a number of fashion students are participating in Fashion Week this week. That's the thing. Like, you can do it. You can do it now. Like, you don't need to have everything professionally done to put yourself out there. And I think, Kathleen, you're absolutely right. People are looking for authenticity these days, and the more we can show people who we really are and in our hearts and why our businesses are so important to us personally, it just makes people want to invest in and give you a chance and help you get to the next step. People are very kind, surprisingly kind. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't, because people want to help.
Agree. I
agree.
Me too.
Because every one of you here has helped me, so I'm extremely grateful.
Well, that's part of what being, it's what we would do anyway, but I know that everyone that's on the board of FGI and is part of FGI, we do try to support each other and collaborate. And, there's enough business out there for everybody. And I think there's something so powerful about us all sharing our magic together, so let's continue to follow the I Love My 90 story and the KFF Consulting. How do we find you, Karen? People like me that need your help, how do we find you?
Yes. Well, okay. So I have to give a huge shout out to my mother, who I know is watching tonight. Hi, Mom. She did my website for me. It's basically a landing page right now because I don't always practice what I preach and I haven't totally developed it. So you could go to kff-consulting.com. But if you want more of me and who I really am and what I really think, follow me on Instagram at kfabulous. So that's fabulous with 2 B's, kfabulous, or at KFF Consulting on Instagram. And You can stay up to date with the latest news, including what my golden doodles are up to today.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, an event like tonight would not be possible without there being somebody behind the scenes, putting it all together, making it look seamless, and making it really easy for the rest of the team to sit here and chat with everyone this evening. So without further ado, I want to introduce Pete. Pete, where are you, Pete? Pete?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
See me?
Pete, tell us about what you do, how you do it, and all the magic that you bring to the production stage.
So outside the world of a pandemic, I work in live events, theater, concerts, trade shows, fashion shows. I've been to Boston many times. I live here in Portland, Maine, and travel down and work with designers and other people on shows. I work in television and radio broadcasting and independent films. So I'm sort of a Renaissance person to all these aspects, except for hair, makeup, and wardrobe for a fashion show. However, if you needed me to help design something, I do have a lot of creativity that can help someone do that. For tonight, for this project that I'm working on here, I originally wanted to do a runway show where the designers dropped their wardrobe off to the models, and the models had someone with a cell phone. This is not a cell phone, but walk along with them on the sidewalk or something to be like a runway show, and somehow switch that live to people out there on the internet. Looking more into that became very complicated. So I decided to transform from that into a sort of a television show style event, which is tonight and the next few nights here during Boston Fashion Week. So that's
Tell us about that, Pete. So for the next 3 nights, I think it is, you have events?
Yes, for the next 3 nights. If you get on Eventbrite and look at, just type in Boston Fashion behind the scenes, and you'll see 3 events, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And what I decided was, let's not just look at the designers, but let's look at other people that contribute to the live fashion industry, because right now live events is shut down everywhere around the world, pretty much. So I have designers, I have hair and makeup artists, I have models, I have stylists, I have a store owner, and I have show producers like myself on that event.
Wonderful. So it's a sampler of the next 3 nights, a little bit from all over the industry.
Yeah, and I'll show you a little behind the scenes look right now. Don't do this at home. But this is what I call the master control room in my house here. Okay. Over here on this screen, I'm watching the YouTube broadcast that we're on right now. Here in the center, I can see everyone on the Zoom call, and then I have more technical stuff here. And I'm controlling everything through these switches here. Audio sound mixer, microphone here. And I'm also watching one of the colleges right now on my tablet with their Zoom party. So that's sort of a quick behind the scenes look.
Well, thank you so much for putting it all together tonight and making us all look so good and giving us all that confidence that we were going to be well served from a production standpoint. So thank you so much for that, Pete. We really appreciate that. So there is a vice presidential debate tonight. Perhaps everyone's heard about that. We're going to wrap this up now. I hope that everyone will check out fgi.org. That's where you'll find more information about Fashion Group International. I'm Kathy Benharris with KB Fashion Productions, and along with Grace Gooderl and Billy Gage, we produce fashion shows. We tell stories using fashion as the medium to tell our client story. Please find us at kbfashionproductions.com. And Natalie, can you close this out for us?
Yes, Natalie Eubanks Mason with my big Jamaican background. Shout out to my family in Jamaica and Toronto watching, and my clients watching. I have an event coming up on Thursday, the 15th of October. Please join us. That's going to be, get more of the information on Thread Tech. It's going to allow you to rethink, repivot your fashion brand. You'll learn a lot about who I am, what I do, and brands that I've worked for, like Tom Ford and other luxury brands. And on 10/19, I have an event with Keith Major that's going to go live soon. He's an amazing celebrity photographer that I've been on sets with numerous times. And yeah, check out Eventbrite for the link. And check me out on www.luxshopforyou.com, the only luxury personal shopper for you. That's me, Natalie Eubanks Mason. Take care.
Well, everybody, good night. Thank you for being here. Happy Fashion Week. Everybody stay safe and get out there and have some fun while staying safe. Thanks, everybody. Night, night.
Thank you. Nighty night.
Great job, guys.